Okay, today's Monday, the 9th of Tammuz, July 15th. We're going to give a quick overview of chapter 12, the last chapter of Shaar, Hayichud, Vihaemuna. You ever wonder why the letters that are written in the Torah have to be so exact? If one letter is off a little bit, the whole Torah is invalid. Every single letter, the way the lines are across and down and the crowns, everything is very, very particular. And that's the way it has to be. So the final chapter of this section of Tanya describes how each letter of the divine creative utterance, that's the way that Hashem created the world through the 10 utterances, is a particular channel of energy. So each letter is a conduit for Hashem's creative energy in this world and in all of creation. Even the letters written shape, the shape, not just the letter the way it sounds, but even the shape represents its unique function. Consequently, a word or its derivative forms a collective energy. The particulars of each created entity mirror the divine force which brought it about. So the letters, we're talking about the letters in chapter 12, Hayichud base. The letters that constitute the 10 utterances, as the Alter Rebbe has explained previously, are the flow of the divine attributes which are wholly united with Hashem. Therefore, though they are termed quote-unquote letters, they're able to serve as vehicles, as kalim, as vessels for creating the wisdom and intellect of created beings, to which they are thus far superior. And they are termed quote-unquote letters only in relation to the supernal attributes from which they come. Now, these letters are the specifically 22 manners of manifestation through which Hashem chose to create the world. These 22 letters of the Hebrew Aleph base are the extension of the divine will to create the world. Although, accordingly, as the Alter Rebbe notes, the forthcoming chapter underscores the fact that all created beings in all their vastly different worlds and different forms are in fact no more than 22 distinct forms of divine creation. Although there are only 22 letters, we can take each of those 22 letters and transpose them to create a vast multitude of creatures. These 22 letters are able to create everything in the entire universe. For the creatures are divided into categories, both generally, whether it's human or animal, and in particular, in the animal world, the different kinds of birds, the different kinds of animals and fish, etc. How does this come about? By changes in the combinations, substitutions, and transpositions of the letters, as we explained prior. So when the letters are combined in one way, one kind of creature is created, and a different combination, it could be even the same letters, but if you change them around, a different creature could be created. As we explained in chapter 1, certain letters may sometimes be substituted or transposed with others. So those creatures whose names are not mentioned in the 10 utterances still receive their vitality by means of these different combinations, substitutions, transpositions of the letters that do appear in the 10 utterances. They're just redirected. Kikol, ois, hi, hamshachas, chayis, v'koyach, v'yuchad prati. Every letter is a flow from an individual, particular life force and power. When many letters, meaning many particular powers and life forces, are combined to form a word, azai, milvad ribu mine koiches v'chayis hamshachim kifim mispar ha'oisios shabateva. Then in addition to the numerous kinds of powers and life forces which issue forth according to the number of letters in the word, there is in addition, there's a transcending, in addition to transcending all the particular powers, there's in addition to transcending all the particular powers, hamshachas koyach elyon v'chayis klalis hakilelis, above all the letters and above all these powers and energy flow that comes from Hashem, there's a flow of a higher power, a general life force, which contains and is equivalent to all the various individual powers and life forces of the letters, which transcends them all. And that is Vihi V'chabarton Mitzarafton Yachad Lashpia Koyach V'chayus Loilam Anibra B'tevazu V'chlaloy V'frotov. And this power unites them and combines them in order to grant power and life force to the world, which was created both in general and in particular aspects. You could take a look from a bird's eye view and say, that's the world. And then when you zoom in, you realize that there are all the particular things that happen in the world. And as you zoom in more, you realize that there are even smaller creatures and smaller aspects of the world that you see as you zoom in. And we brought an example. So there's different combinations that create different things. We brought the example previously a number of times of the word Evan, the Hebrew word Aleph Vez Nun. In that particular order, it comprises the word Evan, which is the name and life force of a stone. We're not even talking just about humans and animals and plant life and even waters, but even a stone. What? Can't repeat that. In that particular order, which is the name and life force. However, when these same letters are transposed, we could create something else is created. So, for example, the Aleph in the first letter of the word Evan is the dominant force in the created being that bears its name, Evan. If the letter stemming from the attribute of Chesed, kindness, then that attribute will predominate. If the letter is of Gvura, a different attribute will prevail. So obviously Hashem had his cheshbonus. We interestingly mentioned previously that the Aleph, the Beis and Nun makes sense, Ban, where the Evan comes from. And then the Aleph, only the Eibishter knows why he added it. So we can kind of discuss this concept over and over, how the 22 letters and even the shapes of the letters and even the similar letters that are sometimes used in place of each other are the makeup of every bit of creation. But at the end of the day, it's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't know why and how he created this formula. This is his way and direction of creation. And so it is. The takeaway is every letter, every Hebrew letter is another expression of godly divine energy. And every Hebrew name and every Hebrew word is a sign of another type of divine expression. So the intermingling of letters is the energy for a multifaceted creation. And by the way, that also gives you your name, the name Yitzchak, or David, or Yosef. Those Hebrew letters are part of what gives you the chayes, the energy from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not just to exist, but also to be a partner in Hashem, in his holy work, and help make the world a better and brighter place. So let's do our job of fulfilling the Torah by learning the Torah and doing the mitzvahs and making the world a better place, and help bring Mashiach. Right, guys? Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.